What is going on, gaming nerds? Welcome back to Midnight Gaming with Mr. Gamer. Thanks for coming to the channel and hanging out. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day. I'm having a pretty decent day. It is midnight yet again. We're back on Russian Fishing 4, and you know what we're going to do today, guys? We are going to troll Ladoga Lake. Nani? Yes, that's right. I said it. Troll Ladoga Lake. Nani? Yes, that's what I did say. I just said that. Troll Ladoga Lake. Without further ado, let's get this party started. All right, so to start off with, I told you guys in the past, whoa, that stupid bird scared the piss out of me. I told you guys in the past that the trolling on Ladoga Lake is pretty much garbage, and to be honest with you, up until now, it's pretty much been that way. The fact of the matter is when Ladoga first came out, it was an absolutely amazing trolling lake. But of course, you guys know what happens when there's something absolutely amazing and we make a lot of money, right? The devs go in and nerf it, and that's exactly what they did with Ladoga Lake's trolling. It's completely nerfed. However, recently, I just got a message from a gentleman that goes by the name of Shoxer, and Shoxer said that I need to go back and I need to just redo the entire video, which, by the way, I'm not going to do because it has a lot of views and it has a lot of likes, and I'm not going to take it down. But the fact of the matter is he was just teasing me, and it turns out the Ladoga Lake has actually become a little bit active when it comes down to trolling. Now, I'm not saying it's going to replace Volkov or Tunguska or anything else like that, so don't quote me on that, but it's actually become a little bit active over here. And I thought he was just a troller. He was trolling me. He was just making fun. But then I started asking questions, and he started giving me his setup, and I asked one specific question: how many fish are you getting an hour? He said around 50. So I started getting interested. For the last 3 days, I've actually been trolling on Ladoga Lake to see how I'm doing. Now, as of right now, as you guys probably know, Quarry Lake and, ouch, I just hit my hand. Quarry Lake as well as Volkov are fairly dead, to be completely honest with you. I think Quarry Lake a couple days ago was active, but it's become dead again. Volkov River has not been active for a while, unfortunately. So people are looking for alternatives. A lot of people are doing Bear Lake, or they're doing Seversky Donets, but they're not really making a ton of money. I mean, Bear Lake, you can make a little bit of money with the carp if they're active. Some people are even going all the way back to Belaya River. So I figured, you know what? And some people are actually trying Sura too, which is actually surprising. Some people have gone and started doing like jigging on Sura. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try this, because if Corey and Volkov's dead, some people would just like somewhere to troll. So to start off with, let's talk about the fish that you actually might be looking for when it comes down to Ladoga Lake. There's going to be two main types, but you're going to get 3 or 4. There are Arctic char. Oh, look at that. A Mystic Nightmare up there. Not Arctic char. I'm sorry. That was jigging. It's not Arctic char. Atlantic salmon. Okay, so there's Atlantic salmon that you can get on here. And there is also lake trout. A, B, C, D, G, F, G, L, L, O, P. Where's the lake trout? There they are right there. So you got your lake trout right here too. Okay. You can try some of these lures, but honestly, I tried some of them and they just really weren't working for me. But you're also going to get pike in one certain area on the map, and then you're also going to get some Vimba. It starts with a V, can't remember the name of it, and then Rippus. You might get a Rippus every now and then, and you might get a Xander as well. So when it comes down to the lure itself, when it comes down to the gear, the fact of the matter is I'm going to turn down the audio because the audio on these are really freaking loud. I'm going to turn down all the audio on it. Okay, so the fact of the matter is you guys know Atlantic salmon from Volkov River, right? Okay, they can get up to 30 kilograms. Okay, so you kind of want to watch out for that. So I would say at the very least, you want at least a Beluga Narga or an HSV with the Super Duty rod setup. Okay, now when it comes down to how much you're making, you're not going to be making a ton. That's why I say it's a replacement for Quarry Lake mainly, not really for Volkhov, because when Volkhov River is active, Volkhov River is really great for making a good 300, 400, sometimes even 600 silver an hour. So it's not going to replace Volkhov when it's active. However, as of right now, because everything's kind of dead, it'll replace these if you want to be a troller. So I'm going to get to the spot where I'm going to start off with. We're going to start trolling a little bit, and I'll show you the lure, and I'll show you the track that I take to actually do this trolling. All right, so we're at the starting of where we're going to go ahead and troll here. We got a nice little loop, if you will. It's not really a loop, it's more like a lasso or something else like that. Basically, let me go ahead and get these lines out here and start trolling. Make sure that I'm going in the right direction, which I am. Got 3 lines. By the way, guys, if you're wondering, I highly suggest using 3 rods when it comes down to this, because 3 is just going to be all around better when it comes down to how many fish you're actually going to be catching. And you want to maximize as much of, you know, the fish as you possibly can. So 3 rods I highly suggest. So when it comes down to the track that we're following, I'm starting off at the 18-meter hole. I'm going all the way down here. I do a loop-de-loop after I go past this deep spot right here. I come up here, I come around, I go to the 11 hole, I turn back around, I come down, I go out this way, all the way down to the 6-meter hole, turn around down here. Usually this skinny spot right here is where you catch your fish. I've caught Atlantic salmon, I've caught lake trout in there, I've also caught pike. So watch out for the pike. You come out here, you go all the way down to the 18-meter hole, turn around, and you do the whole loop again. Okay, that's what I've done. Now, as far as Shock Sir came, as far as Shock Sir said, he's getting most of his stuff in the 18-meter hole in the 11. That's what I'm finding as well. However, I've also been catching, like I said, Atlantic and lake trout right in here in the skinny spot. And this was actually suggested to me by SF Medic. This guy right here. He suggested a couple of different lures. He was suggesting white and red, no, is white and blue, what are they called, cranks. He was suggesting white and blue cranks. He was also suggesting some of the spinners, the lighter spinners, like the 3-4 gram spinners, spikers. He also suggested the, what are they called, I got something that's trying to spool me. I might have to actually fight this in a minute. He also suggested the snatchers, like a gold snatcher color. I've tried all of those. I didn't have as good as luck when it came down to the fish as the lures that I'm actually going to be using. There's a nice little 5-kilogram Atlantic salmon. That is not too bad. I will definitely take that. But that's basically the track. So again, 18, come up here, come past here, circle around, go through the 11. I have caught a 9-kilogram, a 10-kilogram, and a 12-kilogram Atlantic salmon in this 11 right here. I have tried going up into the 14, but I didn't have much luck up there, so I've kind of stayed away from there. You could try it if you want, but you can go around in this 11 spot, and this is where I got the bigger Atlantics. I got a couple of 4 or 5-kilogram Atlantic salmon in here with some decent marker lake trout as well, but most of the big stuff is in this 11 and 18 hole that I've found out so far. So that is basically it. So now if I go ahead and show you the lure, it's a very strange lure. Now hopefully you guys have got friends in the game. If you don't, you've leveled your lure crafting here, because this is one of the main and the best lures that I've found so far. The first one is a handmade EVGA for pike. Okay, now as you can see, I'm using a magnetic treble 3-0. You can go with a 2-0. You can go with a 1-0 if you want. In my opinion, what attracts the fish is actually the weight or the size, the length of the actual lure itself. So as you can see right there, I'm using a 3-0. I'm having no problem catching fish with that. That is the first one I'm using, and I'm using that one on my first 2 heavier rods. I find that with this lure, I get heavier fish all around. If you can, try and get a 10 out of 10 quality. If you have a friend or somebody who is willing to actually help you out when it comes down to getting those. I need to start turning here before I run into the island. Nope, this is not going to work. I have to stop. So yeah, try and get a 10 out of 10 if you can. If you got friends that can actually make them, do not message me. I do not have premium. One of these days I'm going to get premium again and start utilizing that, but when I do, I want to make enough money so I can start doing balsa minnows and stuff like that for people. So as I was saying, that's your first lure. Your second lure, however, is going to be this little bad boy right here. And this little bad boy, as far as I can see, it's doing okay. It's not doing as good as the perch because, I mean, the bite rate is just the same, but I find that with this one, the fish are a little bit smaller. Usually a little bit smaller. Anyway, I got a fish on right now, but as you can see, I'm using a size F1 or a size S1. I'm probably going to up that to a 1.0. This one is working, but it's the handmade lure, EVGA lure for perch, not pike. So if you can, I highly suggest getting the one for pike because it's doing a little bit better when it comes down to the heavier fish. And like I said, the Atlantic salmons are the ones you're really looking for. This one does catch a lot of freaking perch, and I mean, it is made for specifically for perch. There is also something else that Shoxer said to me, which he actually likes to do, which is interesting because I haven't really tried it that much. And that is what he'll do is he'll try to deal with a lot of the different depths so you can kind of cover your range when it comes down to your depths. What he likes to do is he'll troll for a little bit. Probably, I'm not sure exactly how much, but he'll troll for, you know, a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and then he'll stop the boat completely. He'll allow the lures to drop down to the very bottom, and then he'll start trolling again, kind of like you're doing a stop and go, but instead of actually doing rotations on your rig or your reel, what you're actually doing is you're just doing a stop and go with the boat, but you're actually reeling or trolling a little bit longer. So he'll actually go for probably about as long as I've been going right now, and then he'll press G and he'll stop the boat completely. Now, me personally, I'm not really into this because I can't see, hands are busy. I can't restart the boat with a line out. So I like to use 3 rods. So what I do is I usually just keep continuously trolling so I can have that 3rd rod out and have an extra chance of actually trolling. Now, when it comes down to the lures and stuff like that, I have tried so many lures. I have tried spinners. I have tried spoons. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start trying all of these spoons, all these big silvery shiny spoons. I bet some of these will really work really well. If I can get bigger fish with these, that would be fantastic. I kind of wish that the tube, where's that tube? I don't know where I wish I had a silver one of these because I think that would actually probably work really well. I might try like this one right here, this perch one right here, and the West Siberian K, but all of these silver ones seem to do really well. I have tried a ton of balsas. I have tried, ignore all those balsas when I was leveling my, holy crap, I've got a lot of them. Holy crap, I've got a lot. I've tried a lot of these balsas. I've also tried like the DP cranks and the snatchers. They haven't been as good as the EVGA handmade lures that we're using right now, to be completely honest with you. So like I said, in this spot right here, this is where I usually catch the bigger salmon. So I like to kind of stick around in here. Sometimes I'll do a couple of loops just in the 11-meter hole as it is. But right now, EVGA, there's your Rippus. The EVGA or the Ladoga trolling is actually working, is actually somewhat hot right now. There's your lake trout right there. Now, as far as your fish, if you use 3 rods like I use, you're probably looking around 40 to 50 fish. You're probably thinking, ooh, that's really cool. And it is really cool, except for the fact that you need to try and get bigger ones, because from what I'm seeing, I'm only making about, per hour, I'm only making about 200, 250 silver. Now that is actually really nice when it comes down to like comparing it to Quarry Lake. I mean, think about Quarry Lake. With Quarry Lake, you make what? 200, 250 at best. When it's hot, you might be able to get 300. There's a grayling. That was a surprise. So yeah, you might be able to get 300, maybe 350 when it's super hot. But right now, Quarry Lake isn't doing jack right now. And Volkov isn't doing the greatest either. So if you still want to troll, you don't want to go back to Balaya, you don't want to do bottom fishing, you can actually jump out here to Ladoga Lake and you can do okay. Like I said, for an hour, testing out a bunch of lures and stuff like that, I was making it about 30 to 40 fish, and I was getting about 200 to 250 per hour, and that's even with releasing these god-awful tiny little perch that for some reason just are everywhere in the freaking game. But again, the track 18 up to the 11, flip around, angle down, go up to the 6, flip around, come down to the 18, and that should work out really well. And you can actually make some decent money. I mean, it's at least as good as Quarry Lake right now. And it's just surprising. This is Ladoga Lake, guys. The trolling on Ladoga Lake is normally absolutely abysmal, but for some reason it's become active. It's been very rainy lately too. Now, the difference between the sun and the rain, I really haven't noticed a difference when it comes to the bite rate, but I've noticed my bigger, more active bite rates are early in the morning at about 6 a.m. and then around 1600, then it starts becoming really active again. So hopefully you like the video. Here's a little something different for you. You can actually try to troll Ladoga Lake. It's working as of right now. Like I said, here's your lures, your handmade Volga for perch, and then if I can get this one in real quick, and your handmade lower Volga for pike, and I use a 3-0 magnetic treble. You can use a 2-0, 1-0. It doesn't have to be a magnetic treble either. The biggest fish I've caught so far doing this was a nice 12-kilogram Atlantic salmon, which surprised the hell out of me because I haven't seen an Atlantic salmon for a long time, even after trolling through Volkov River. So if you liked the video, hit the like button. I appreciate it if you would, because it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. No matter what you do, subscribe. Thanks for coming to the channel and hanging out. I appreciate it. Keep gaming. Keep doing it midnight. Have a blast. Take care. Have a good one. And bye-bye.